Okay, I'm going to start my speech in three, two, one. Okay, here, panels, we are talking about the corruption. As we know that corruption is extraordinary crimes that happen in our country. So here, corruption, it suffers people. It's not only we are talking about the corruption is only stealing the money, but it suffers people. Vulnerable actors in this context is poor people in the country. So here, our goals that we want to give deterrent effect in larger aspect. It's not only give effect to the corruptors only, but it will affect to the another politicians, and it will give some lessons to another politician to not do the same thing. So here we will we will tell you that what makes us different from OG. So here, OG tells us about the mechanism about giving the asset and all the money from the corruptors. But here we are talking that it's unlogical if they just take the money by 50%. Imagine that the corruptors corrupt that 1 billion, but they still have H billions, for example. So we only take that 50%, like only take the 4 billions, but in this condition, so they are still rich, right? So here, our mechanism is we will take still 100% of money that they corrupt, and after that, we will give them the fine depends on how much the wealth they have. And another mechanism that differ us from the OG is we will do investigate. So we will create the investigation team that this investigation is used or to do for investigate the assets that is used from the money that they use or they get from the corruption. So because we do know that the corruptors come from people who are educated enough, right? So they will put on like some investment, for example, or they put their money for to Pandora or Panama or Andorra for Panama or actually like Singapore. So it's the country that free tax, right? So here we will do investigate. So it will more logical and it will be more calculative, because in this context we will not that impoverish them by giving them like take their sanitary needs or take put them in the below economical class. So we still provide their basic needs, because we still put them in as human being. So here, firstly, what makes us different for another arguments is we will prove trust issues, that we do know that there is trust issue from the society, right? So it impact to the high number of absent people that the society is unable to trust the government. So by do this mechanism at the end, society will trust the government again. So here, it's different from OG, that OG only take the money all and give it to the government. But here we will distribute the money to all people, to the vulnerable actors here, to the poor people. So the money will be gotten by the poor people who deserve the money. And also here, our mechanism is for make a deterrent effect in a long term, because we do know that imagine that we take the assets that like the business or like the money that they put in Andorra or Singapore, for example. So it will stop their assets, like so it will stop that they will not run the company that will make them richer in the future. So why is it justified to give the punishment or to apply this mechanism? Firstly, the corruptors are educated enough, so they didn't come from poor people. They even corrupt for fulfilling their secondary needs, right? So it's very justified to give them punishment, because we do know it's not the primary needs, right? And second, we do know that the corruptors are politicians, right? So here we do know that politicians are not as simple as we think. They have the responsibility. They should be the role model for the people, for the local people. So here they got the trust from the society. So they have to use the trust from the society by being a good role model. So here we do know that the politicians or the corruptors comes from higher class than the society, right? So it is because of their responsibility. So we still do believe that this mechanism is justified to be applied the for the characters. So here, um, we will I will clarify that by do investigate is look like we will create the team that will audit the wealth that the family have. So in this context, that we will more calculative, because not all of the assets come from the corruption, right? The corruption or the money, the business that the family have may be from their pure wealth that for family is of the corruption. So we will be more logical, and we will be more calculative. So at the end, we will not suffer them, because OG has mechanism that impoverish them, is looks like make them to be suffer. No, we still treat them as human being here. We still treat them as humans, so they still provide to access the education. They still able to access the sanitary needs, and so on and so forth. So here, by doing investigating, it makes us different from opening government, and also it will tackle down the argument or the mechanism from OO itself, because we still do believe that prisons is not enough for giving the deterrent effect to the politicians, right? We still do believe that we have done all strategy in punishing the corruptors. So here we as passing government proud to propose. Thank you.
I'm going to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Opening oppositions come up with the idea that they're going to like rehabilitate to those people who commit corruptions. But the thing is, we have already done that, and it is not working. So what we already like done is that like it just privilege for them. So because like at the end of the day, they will still do corruptions, and even though that they will not gonna do that in the first place, but like you can never guarantees that what's gonna happen in future. They will still do the same thing, and even though rehabilitate will make them realize that and not commit the corruption again in the future, but you're only going to solve the problem only in small circumstances, like because like you're only focusing on those people who are being rehabilitated, but not giving a listen to many people, so that this kind of mechanism will not be worked at the end of the day. And also they brought the idea of how if we're going to take all the wealth, all their wealth beings, their family will be suffer. In our case of in our underside of the house will not be access, because like we're still going to provide them we provide them like health and everything and basic needs. So it is I'm going to explain that later in my arguments. And what makes us different from the opening government is that opening government brought the idea of they're going to just take 100% of the amount of money that they have taken, and also they're going to like take 50%, which is this thing is not going to be work, because like if you're only going to take 50%, just for example, if that people, the one who commit corruption, for example, they have corruption for about 100 million, and then you're only going to take like 50 millions of their well-being, which is like not going to be make them poor, because like what they have done is that not only like in short term period, because like they have that in long time, such as like 5 years or like even 6 years, and then they already like make the money as a business. We think that it is not fair, so that like it is our mechanism is totally different in between governments, opening governments. So our mechanism is that we're going to take all the wealth beings. So how are we going to take them? So basically we're going to take all the wealth beings, but we're still going to provide them like basic needs, such as access to education, such as like enough money, so that they will things that they will learn from that how to be like how to be safer. Because like what they never realize is that they never know how the situations in the society exist, because like they have been suffer like for a long time because of you, because you are the one who take the money, and then uh, it is going to make them not do corruption anymore. Why? And then also why is that like our mechanism is going to work, because like it will giving them different effect to who, how that if we only going to take them like maybe if we're going to take all their well-being. So with this kind of way, when we take them, the moment we take them, of course, like your case will be blow up in social media, so that people will also learn. It's not only you who actually get the who will get that lesson, but you going to take, you're going to make give a lessons like to other people, and not only that, uh the society, because like as we know, like in our current status right now, like society are not, most of society don't trust government, which is with this kind of way you're going to gain the trust from society. So like and then there will be like more participants that society will do, such as like they were going to like participate in election, for example, because like as we see like nowadays, like there are many golput, because like they don't trust with this kind of way, with showing how actually you take the problem, you solve the problem by giving a punishment to those who commits corruptions, will going to make society believe in the government, right? And also it's not only that, like the money that we have taken from them is not like the total, all their well-beings, and then they're going to allocate them, such as like we're going to allocate their money for education system, for example, and then it will going to help a lot the society, especially like to those country who's living in developing country, such as because like they have lack of educations, they have like a lot of things, and then we're going to have a lot of poor people, and then people will get hang will going to have a proper educations, and then at the end of the day, in the future, there are a lot of students, a lot of people that is more that is smart, right? So uh, with this kind of way, we can really see that opening oppositions cannot win this debate, because like they cannot provide us like of what is long-term effect that they will give us, and then since that opening government is only talking about like only taking like 150%, which is like it's not going to make a deterrent effect for them, because like when you take 150% only, it is not the total, and it will not make them suffer, and then at the end of the day, they will still do they will still commit corruptions, for example, right? And so that as opening government, as closing of government, I'm really proud to oppose.